During the Buddha's time, there were 3 young Chatilas, or matted hair Brahmin hermits, who lived in Uruvela. The 3 brothers were all named Kassapa. The eldest had 500 followers, the second had 300 followers, and the youngest had 200 followers. The Kassapa brothers were dedicated to learning the 3 Vedas, a practice which was highly respected by Brahmins. The first Veda, Rig Veda, was dedicated to singing hymns proclaiming worship of various deities. The second Veda, Yajura Veda, was performed while practicing ritual offerings and sacrifices. The third Veda, Sama Veda, consisted of singing chants in a melodic form. In addition, they practiced a fourth Veda, the Atharva Veda, which detailed spells and mysticism. Although they had mastered the Vedas, the Kassapa brothers were not satisfied with the results of their practice and decided to leave. They traveled to the Uruvela forests near the Neranchara River and set up 3 different encampments. The eldest set his up at the top of a hill and was henceforth known as Uruvela Kassapa. The second brother set his up further down the hill in a region known as Nati and was henceforth known as Nari Kassapa. The youngest set his up near the Gaya River and was henceforth known as Gaya Kassapa. The 3 brothers and their followers practiced worshipping fire for many decades and amassed immense fame. The Buddha, with his infinite wisdom and mercy, went to the Uruvela region and visited the sanctuary of Uruvela Kassapa. There, the Buddha asked for shelter in the main hall of fire worship. Uruvela Kassapa said, "Monk, I cannot provide shelter for you here." The Buddha responded, "Kassapa, it is customary that when ones who have ordained visit each other, they are provided shelter." "I too know the customs of the ordained. However, the temple here contains a vicious and powerful Naga. I fear for your safety." "Kassapa, fear not for my safety. I will be fine." With the Buddha's assurances, Uruvela Kassapa allowed him to reside in the temple's hall. The Buddha entered the hall of fire worship and sat in silence. The Naga that resided in the hall of fire worship saw that the Buddha was sitting silently and that he hadn't paid any respect to the Naga. The Naga, in his haughtiness, became filled with indignant anger. He decided to punish this monk for intruding into his residence. He blasted fireball after powerful fireball at the Buddha. The Buddha merely sat in silence as all of the attacks dissipated. The Naga doubled his efforts and blasted his most powerful attacks at the Buddha. The Brahmin students of Uruvela Kassapa watched the tremendous power and lights fill the night sky and thought that the Buddha was being viciously attacked by the great Naga. They thought, "Serves him right. He was so haughty to think he could sleep in the great hall in which the great Naga resides." What they did not know was that the Buddha used his powers to reflect the attacks back onto the Naga. Feeling the power of his own attacks, the Naga suffered great pain all night. by the end of the night, the Naga had been beaten into submission and crawled into the Buddha's bowl in surrender. In the morning, when Uruvela Kassapa and his students left to check on the Buddha, they expected him to be greatly injured or even dead. Instead, they saw him quietly seated, completely unscathed. Uruvela Kassapa and his students were astonished at what they had seen. The great Naga had been reduced to a tiny field snake, cowering in the Buddha's alms bowl. Uruvela Kassapa reflected, "This monk must truly be great, if he was able to conquer the great Naga. Even so, he's not an arahant like I am." Uruvela Kassapa then invited the Buddha to stay at their temple. He offered to provide food and support for the Buddha. What did you learn from this story? We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads.